I need to tell someone what I did, and you're going to think I'm shallow, but there's something about keeping a ranked list of your exes that nobody understands. It wasn't meant to be cruel. It started as therapy homework, actually. My counselor told me to write down my relationship patterns, identify what worked and what didn't. Somehow it evolved into this detailed spreadsheet with categories and scores. And yes, I ranked them. And yes, Marcus was last. Dead last. Out of 7 guys, he came in 7th. The worst part about what happened isn't that he found the list. It's what I wrote in the comments section next to his name, and it's something I can never take back. If I don't tell this whole story, you'll think I'm just another terrible girlfriend who got what she deserved. But once you know what I know, you'll see why I made that list in the first place, why Marcus's ranking wasn't actually about him at all, and why the real villain in this story might not be who you think it is. I'm going to tell you everything, including what I wrote in that comments section. And the part that makes me look worst, I'm saving that for later because you need to understand who I was before Marcus, and who I thought I was becoming with him. I met Marcus at my friend Jade's birthday party 2 years ago. I just ended things with Connor, who would eventually rank number 3 on my list, and I wasn't looking for anything serious. Marcus wasn't my type at all. He worked in IT support at a community college. He wore graphic tees with physics jokes. He got genuinely excited about documenting his sourdough starter like it was a pet. But he looked at me like I was the most fascinating person in the room, and after Connor's barely concealed disinterest for the last 6 months, that attention felt like oxygen. We started dadding casually. He'd come over Thursday nights and we'd watch cooking shows. He'd text me articles about things I'd mentioned in passing, like he was actually listening. He remembered that I took my coffee with oat milk, not almond. Small things. Forgettable things, I thought then. The problem was that Marcus was safe, comfortable. He never pushed me or challenged me or made my heart race. When I told Jade about him after a month, she asked if I was excited, and I had to think about my answer too long. "He's really nice," I said. "That's what you say about your dentist," Jade replied. But I kept seeing him because nice felt good after everything else. After Ryan, my first love, who cheated on me with his study partner. After James, who was exciting right up until he got exciting with his ex-girlfriend behind my back. After David, who loved the idea of me but seemed disappointed by the reality. After Connor, who made me feel like I was always auditioning for the role of girlfriend and never quite booking it. Marcus never made me audition. He just wanted me, exactly as I was, which should have felt like winning but somehow felt like settling. I didn't tell him that, of course. I just kept showing up on Thursday nights and let him introduce me to his friends and eventually his parents. His mom loved me immediately, which felt nice and suffocating in equal measure. She'd tag me in Facebook posts about recipes and ask when we were coming to visit again. That's when I started therapy. Not because of Marcus specifically, but because I was 29 and my relationship history looked like a disaster movie franchise with increasingly improbable sequels. My therapist, Dr. Chen, had this calm way of asking questions that made me realize I didn't have any answers. "What do you want in a partner?" she asked during our 3rd session. I gave her the standard list. Kind, funny, ambitious, good communicator. And Marcus has these qualities, most of them. Which ones is he missing? I shifted in my seat. He's not super ambitious. Like he's been in the same job for 4 years and seems fine with it, and I don't know if he's funny exactly. He laughs at things, but he doesn't really make me laugh. Do you love him? The question sat between us like a stone. I care about him a lot. That's not what I asked. That night I started the list. Just a simple document at first. Ryan, James, David, Eric, Connor, Tyler, Marcus. I was going to write what I learned from each relationship, like Dr. Chen suggested. But then I remembered this podcast I'd listened to about ranking systems and data analysis, and my brain just kind of ran with it. I created categories. Physical chemistry, emotional connection, intellectual compatibility, ambition level, shared interests, family potential, how they treated service workers, quality of communication. I weighted each category and assigned scores out of 10. It took me 3 hours and 2 glasses of wine. When I finished, I stared at the spreadsheet with a mix of pride and horror. Ryan ranked first despite the cheating because our chemistry was off the charts and he pushed me to be better. Connor came in second. James was third. Marcus was 7th, barely beating Tyler, and Tyler once forgot my birthday and my middle name in the same week. I knew it was messed up. I should have deleted it immediately. But instead, I saved it in a folder labeled journal stuff and told myself it was just an exercise, just data, Just me trying to understand my own patterns. The comments section was where I really messed up. Next to each name, I'd written little notes. Next to Ryan, best sex, worst judgment. Next to Connor, made me want to be impressive. Next to James, exciting, unreliable, worth it. Next to Marcus, I wrote safe, comfortable, settling. Then I wrote something else, something worse, but I'm not ready to tell you that part yet. I kept dating Marcus, kept doing Thursday nights and occasional weekend trips. He started leaving a toothbrush at my place, then a phone charger, then a drawer full of clothes. It happened so gradually I didn't notice we were basically living together until Jade pointed it out. So it's serious, she said over brunch. I guess so. You guess, Emily, the man has a whole drawer. It just kind of happened. She gave me that look, the one that said she saw right through me. Are you happy? Of course, I said too quickly. The truth was I didn't know. I wasn't unhappy. Marcus was objectively a good boyfriend. He planned thoughtful dates. He listened when I complained about work. He never pressured me about anything. When I got food poisoning from bad sushi, he came over at midnight with Gatorade and sat with me while I was miserable. But I also didn't feel that spark. That excitement. That feeling of falling that everyone writes songs about. I mentioned this to Dr. Chen. Maybe spark isn't sustainable, she said. Maybe that falling feeling is just anxiety dressed up as romance. So I should just accept comfortable. I didn't say that, I'm asking what you think. I thought about it a lot, too much probably, and every time I did, I'd open that spreadsheet and stare at Marcus's ranking. 7th out of 7. I kept thinking I should update it, that maybe I was being unfair. But I never changed it. Just when I thought things couldn't get worse, Marcus started talking about moving in together officially. Not just the gradual drawer accumulation, but actual cohabitation. Signing a lease together, merging our lives. I'm basically here every night anyway, he said one Thursday. And your lease is up in 2 months. We could find a 2-bedroom, have space for a home office. That's a big step. We've been together over a year, feels like the natural next thing. Natural? That word bothered me for days. Like we were just following a prescribed path because that's what people do, not because we were passionately choosing each other. But everyone else seemed to think it was great. His parents were thrilled. My mom asked if an engagement was next. Jade said it was about time I found someone stable. Even Dr. Chen seemed cautiously optimistic. You seem anxious about this, she observed. Wouldn't you be? It's a big commitment. Is it commitment in general that worries you or commitment to Marcus specifically? I didn't answer that. Instead, I went home and opened the spreadsheet again. I thought maybe if I looked at it objectively, really analyzed the data, I'd see that I was being silly. That Marcus was a good choice. That settling wasn't actually settling if the person was genuinely good. I added a new category: sustainability, long-term potential. Marcus scored a 9. Ryan got a 3. Connor a 5. Marcus's overall ranking moved up to 6th. Still second to last. I added another category: makes me feel safe. Marcus got a 10. Ryan a 2, 5th place. I kept adding categories, kept trying to make the numbers tell me what I wanted to hear. Makes my family happy, responsible with money, remembers important dates. Marcus climbed to 4th, then 3rd, but his ranking under physical chemistry remained a 4. Emotional connection was a 5. Makes me want to be better was a 3. I stared at that spreadsheet for an hour drinking wine, and then I did something I really regret. I created a new document. A pros and cons list about moving in with Marcus. Pros: he's reliable, he's kind, he loves me, he'd be a good father, he makes me feel safe. My family approves. I'm almost 30. He's actually available, unlike most of my exes. Cons: I'm not sure I'm in love with him. The sex is fine but not great. I sometimes get bored during our conversations. I can't imagine being this comfortable for the rest of my life. I keep comparing him to Ryan. I fantasize about what could have been with Connor. I think I might be settling. Then I wrote in bold at the bottom, is this really what I want, or am I just tired of being alone? I should have deleted it. I should have talked to Dr. Chen. I should have been honest with Marcus. Instead, I saved both documents and told Marcus I needed time to think about moving in together. How much time? He asked, and I could hear the hurt in his voice. Just a few weeks, it's a big decision. Right, he said, of course. Everyone online thought I was fine, but privately I was spiraling. I'd go to work, smile through meetings, post pictures of my morning coffee on Instagram. Normal, well-adjusted Emily with her nice boyfriend and her decent life. Meanwhile, I was going home and obsessing over spreadsheets, trying to mathematically calculate whether I deserved happiness or should just accept contentment. Jade noticed something was off when I canceled plans twice in 1 week. What's going on with you? She asked. Just busy with work. You're lying. Is it Marcus? Did something happen? No, nothing happened. That's kind of the problem. Nothing ever happens. It's just the same nice, comfortable thing every day. And that's bad because I don't know if nice and comfortable is enough. She was quiet for a moment. You've dated exciting. Exciting cheated on you. Exciting forgot your birthday. Exciting made you cry more than laugh. Maybe nice is underrated. Maybe, I said, but I didn't believe it. I thought I was fixing things by giving myself time and space to think. Really, I was building a case against my own relationship, collecting evidence that Marcus wasn't enough, that I deserved more, that settling was worse than being alone. The spreadsheet became this secret thing I'd check obsessively. I'd update scores based on our dates. After a particularly boring dinner, where Marcus talked about server configurations for 20 minutes, his intellectual compatibility score dropped from 6 to 5. After amazing sex following a friend's wedding, his physical chemistry jumped from 4 to 6, then back down to 5 when the next week was mediocre again. I was treating my relationship like a science experiment, and Marcus had no idea he was being studied. 2 months passed. My lease was almost up, and I still hadn't given Marcus an answer about moving in together. He'd stopped asking, which somehow felt worse than the pressure. Then Ryan messaged me out of nowhere. Just a simple text, "Hey stranger, saw your promotion on LinkedIn. Congrats, want to grab coffee and catch up." I should have deleted it. I should have told Marcus. I should have remembered that Ryan was ranked first on my list for a reason that had nothing to do with being good for me. Instead, I agreed to coffee. We met at the place we used to go to when we were dating, and the nostalgia hit me like a wave. He looked good. He'd always looked good. That was never the problem. "You seem happy," he said. I'm seeing someone." "Serious?" "Yeah, I think so. He wants us to move in together. But you're here having coffee with your ex, so I'm figuring things out." He smiled that smile that used to undo me. For what it's worth, I always thought we ended too soon. Bad timing, bad decisions, but not a bad thing. "You cheated on me, Ryan." "I know, worst thing I ever did. I was young and stupid, and I've regretted it for years." We talked for 2 hours. He'd matured, or at least he seemed like he had. He'd gone to therapy. He'd learned about attachment styles and communication. He apologized for everything, sincerely and specifically. When I got home, I opened the spreadsheet and stared at his name at the top. First place. The best one, according to my own metrics. Marcus texted, "Movie night tomorrow, miss you." I felt sick. I didn't tell him about coffee with Ryan. I told myself it wasn't a big deal, just catching up with an old friend. But I knew I was lying. I knew it was a big deal because of how it made me feel alive in a way I hadn't felt in months. Ryan and I started texting. Nothing inappropriate, just friendly conversation that felt charged with possibility. He'd send me songs. I'd send him articles. It was familiar and exciting, and absolutely not fair to Marcus. Just when I thought things couldn't get more complicated, Marcus showed up at my apartment on a random Tuesday with flowers and a nervous smile. "I know you need space," he said, "but I also know something's been off for months, and I can't keep pretending I don't notice, so I'm just going to ask, do you want to be with me?" It was the most direct he'd ever been, and it completely disarmed me. "Of course I do," I said automatically. "No, I mean really. Not out of convenience or because it's easy. Do you actually want this, want us?" I should have been honest. I should have told him I was confused, that I'd been seeing Ryan, that I had doubts. Instead, I doubled down. "Yes, I want this. I'm sorry I've been weird. Work has been stressful and I've been in my head about everything. But yes, let's do it. Let's move in together." The relief on his face made me hate myself a little. We signed a lease 3 weeks later. A nice 2-bedroom in a better neighborhood than either of us could afford alone. Marcus was thrilled. He started planning furniture arrangements and talking about adopting a dog. I smiled and nodded and kept texting Ryan. Dr. Chen asked how I felt about the decision. "Good," I lied. "Ready for the next step." "You don't sound convinced." "I'm just nervous, normal nervous, first time living with someone." Is it what? Normal nervous, or is it something else?" I changed the subject. Moving day was chaotic in the way these things always are. Marcus's friends helped with the heavy furniture. Jade brought pizza and made jokes about me finally becoming a real adult. Marcus's mom dropped off a housewarming basket with dish towels and a candle that smelled like fresh linen. We spent the first night surrounded by boxes, eating takeout on the floor, and Marcus looked so happy that I almost convinced myself I'd made the right choice. Then he kissed me and said, "This is just the beginning, Em. I can't wait for everything that comes next." And I felt absolutely nothing. No excitement, no anticipation, just a mild sense of dread and the weight of a decision I couldn't undo. That night, after he fell asleep, I sat in our new living room and opened my laptop. The spreadsheet was still there, with Marcus in third place now after all my category adjustments. I'd been trying to make the numbers tell me he was the right choice, but all I'd really done was prove I was trying too hard to convince myself. I opened a new document and started writing. Not a list this time, but a letter I'd never send. Dear Marcus, you deserve someone who doesn't keep a ranked spreadsheet of her exes. You deserve someone who's sure about you, who doesn't need weighted categories to justify being with you. Deserve someone who doesn't still think about Ryan, who doesn't wonder what if, who doesn't feel trapped by your kindness. I deleted it without saving. Living together was fine at first. Marcus made coffee every morning. We had a system for chores. He'd cook dinner while I worked late. We'd watch TV before bed. It was domestic and pleasant and utterly suffocating. I kept updating the spreadsheet. It became this compulsion, this way of maintaining control over something I couldn't control. Marcus's scores fluctuated wildly based on my mood. After a nice date, he'd shoot up. After a boring weekend, he'd drop. It was completely irrational and I couldn't stop. Ryan kept texting. The conversations got more personal. He asked if I was happy. I said yes. He said he could tell I was lying. I didn't deny it. If you're not happy, why stay? He asked. Because breaking up with someone just because they're boring isn't a good enough reason. He hasn't done anything wrong. You don't need a reason to leave. You just need to want to. That stuck with me. I wanted to leave. I'd wanted to leave for months. But I'd signed a lease and integrated our lives and let Marcus believe I was all in. I'd made my choice and now I was stuck with it. Except I wasn't, technically. I could leave. I could break the lease. I could hurt him and disappoint everyone and blow up this nice, safe life I'd built. But I didn't. I just kept living the lie and updating my spreadsheet and texting Ryan like a coward. 3 months into living together, Marcus planned a surprise party for my 30th birthday. All our friends, both our families, decorations, catered food, the works. Everyone kept saying how lucky I was to have someone so thoughtful. I smiled and agreed and felt like a fraud. Ryan texted during the party, "Happy birthday, Em. Hope you're celebrating with someone who actually makes you happy." I excused myself to the bathroom and stared at my reflection. 30 years old, living with a man I didn't love, still hung up on an ex who'd hurt me, maintaining a secret spreadsheet ranking my relationship history. When did I become this person? I went back to the party and tried to be present. Marcus gave a toast about how meeting me changed his life. Everyone awed. I wanted to disappear. That night, after everyone left and we were cleaning up, Marcus said, "Did you have a good time?" "It was perfect, thank you. You seemed distracted. Just overwhelmed. You know I don't love being the center of attention." He kissed my forehead. "I know, but you deserve to be celebrated." The guilt was crushing. I thought I was maintaining things, keeping it all together until I figured out what to do. Really, I was just dragging out the inevitable and making everything worse. A few weeks later, I came home from drinks with Jade to find Marcus sitting on the couch with his laptop open. He looked up when I walked in and I knew immediately something was wrong. "Hey," I said carefully, "you okay? My laptop died while I was working. I grabbed yours. Hope that's okay." My stomach dropped. "Of course, yeah, no problem. I wasn't snooping, I just needed to check my email for a work thing." "Okay, but your documents were synced to the browser, and when I opened a new tab your recent files showed up." No, 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 no. "Marcus, is there something called X ranking spreadsheet that I should know about?" The air left the room. I couldn't breathe, couldn't think. "I can explain. You ranked your exes. It was a therapy exercise, it wasn't, 'Where do I rank Emily?'" His voice was so quiet, so hurt. I wanted to lie. I wanted to say he was first, that the spreadsheet was old, that it didn't mean anything. "It's complicated," I said instead. "What number?" "Marcus, please, it's not about." "What fucking number?" I'd never heard him curse. Never heard him raise his voice. "Originally, 7th, but I've updated it. You're 3rd now. After I adjusted the categories and weighted things differently. Originally 7th out of 7. The categories weren't fair. I changed them. You're higher now because you tried to mathematically justify settling for me. That's not what it was." "Then what was it?" "Because from where I'm sitting, it looks like you've been treating our relationship like a fucking data analysis project." He clicked something on the laptop. His face went paler. "There's a pros and cons list about moving in with me." Oh God, I'd forgotten about that document. "Marcus," he started reading aloud. "Con, I'm not sure I'm in love with him. Con, I sometimes get bored during our conversations. Con, I keep comparing him to Ryan." He looked up. "Who the fuck is Ryan?" "An ex." "He's just an ex. The one ranked number 1, the one you're apparently still comparing me to." I haven't talked to him in years, I lied. There's another document here, looks like a letter you didn't send. He clicked again. His face did something I'd never seen before. You think you're trapped by my kindness. I was just venting, I didn't mean. When did you write this? The date says, 3 months ago, right after we moved in together. I was confused. I didn't know what I wanted. And now my phone buzzed on the coffee table. A text notification lit up the screen, visible to both of us. Ryan, still thinking about our conversation earlier. Life's too short to stay somewhere you don't want to be. The silence was deafening. You've been talking to him, Marcus said, not a question, as friends, just as friends. How long, Marcus? How fucking long, Emily? A few months, but nothing happened. We just texted. We got coffee once. That's it. He laughed, but it sounded broken. You got coffee with your number one ex while living with your dead last boyfriend. Cool, that's totally normal and fine. You're not dead last anymore. Oh well, as long as I moved up the rankings. As long as I'm third now instead of seventh. That makes this so much better. You're taking this the wrong way. What's the right way to take finding out your girlfriend has been keeping a secret spreadsheet ranking you against her exes while texting the winner behind your back? I didn't have an answer. He closed the laptop and stood up. I need you to tell me the truth. Right now, do you love me? This was it. The moment I should have been honest, should have admitted that I cared about him but wasn't in love with him, that I'd made a mistake moving in together, that he deserved better. Yes, I said, because I was a coward. You're lying. I'm not. I can see it in your face, you're lying. You've probably been lying this whole time. That's not fair. You want to talk about fair. You made a spreadsheet, Emily. You assigned numerical values to our relationship. You wrote pros and cons lists about whether I was worth living with. You texted your ex while sharing a bed with me, and I'm the one being unfair. He went to our bedroom. I heard drawers opening, the closet door sliding. What are you doing? Paking. Marcus, wait, we can talk about this. We can work through it. He emerged with a duffel bag, throwing clothes into it. Work through what? You don't love me. You never did. You just didn't want to be alone and I was convenient. That's not true. Which part? Because the spreadsheet and the letter and the text with Ryan all seem to agree that you settled for me. You're overreacting. He stopped packing and looked at me, really looked at me. I loved you. From that first night at Jade's party, I knew you were special. I thought we were building something real. I introduced you to my parents. I planned a future with you. I threw you a fucking birthday party. His voice cracked. And the whole time you were ranking me against ghosts, comparing me to guys who treated you like shit but made your heart race, texting your ex, trying to make the numbers add up so you could justify staying with someone you're not even attracted to. I am attracted to you. Your spreadsheet says I'm a 4 in physical chemistry. 4 out of 10, Emily. You've been sleeping with someone you rate as a 4. I told you I changed the categories. Stop talking about the fucking categories. He zipped the bag and grabbed his laptop. I'm going to stay with my brother. I'll figure out the lease stuff later. Right now, I just need to be anywhere you're not. Marcus, please, we can fix this. I can delete the spreadsheet. I'll stop talking to Ryan. I'll do whatever. I don't want you to do anything. I want you to have the decency to let me leave with whatever dignity I have left. He walked to the door. I'm sorry, I whispered. He paused, his hand on the doorknob. You know what the worst part is? It's not the spreadsheet. It's not even the ranking. It's that comment you wrote next to my name, the one you think I didn't see. My blood went cold. Safe, comfortable, settling. He turned to look at me one last time. And then below that he loves me more than I'll ever love him. Is that enough? That was the thing I wasn't ready to tell you earlier. The worst thing I wrote. The cruelest truth. You had your answer the whole time, Marcus said. You just didn't want to be the bad guy. But guess what? Making me feel loved while knowing you didn't feel the same, that makes you the bad guy anyway. He left. The door clicked shut, and I stood alone in our apartment, surrounded by furniture we'd picked out together and a life I'd pretended to want. I sat down and opened my laptop. The spreadsheet was still there, Marcus's name in third place with its weighted categories and adjusted scores and clinical dissection of our relationship. I scrolled to the comments section. Read what I'd written. Safe, comfortable, settling, he loves me more than I'll ever love him. Is that enough? Below that, something I'd added just last week, maybe I'm the problem. Maybe I'm so obsessed with the spark that I can't recognize actual love. Maybe Ryan broke something in me and I've been chasing that broken feeling ever since because it's familiar. I'd known. On some level, I'd known exactly what I was doing and why. I'd known I was being unfair, unkind, selfish. I'd documented my own cruelty and done it anyway. The next few days were a blur. Marcus stayed at his brother's place. I called in sick to work. Jade came over after I told her what happened, and I've never seen her so disappointed in me. A spreadsheet, really. I know, and you've been texting Ryan, just as friends. Stop lying. You were emotionally cheating on a man who loved you with a guy who treated you like garbage. And you know what? I bet Ryan still treats you like garbage. I bet he was only interested because you were unavailable. She was right. When I told Ryan that Marcus had left, his texts became less frequent, less interested. Within a week, they stopped entirely. I'd blown up my relationship for someone who didn't actually want me, just the idea of me. Everyone online thought I was fine because I kept posting like nothing happened. A coffee photo here, a sunset there. Normal, well-adjusted Emily with her carefully curated life. Meanwhile, I was sleeping in the bed Marcus and I had picked out together, surrounded by his absence. His mom called. That was brutal. I don't understand what happened, she said. Marcus won't tell me details, but he's heartbroken. Did you cheat? Not physically, but emotionally maybe. Yeah, I thought you loved him. I cared about him very much. That's not the same thing. I know. She was quiet for a long moment. I hope whoever he was worth it. For Marcus's sake, I hope he was worth destroying a good man. He wasn't. Of course he wasn't, Dr. Chen tried to help me process it all. Why do you think you made the spreadsheet? She asked. I don't know. Control maybe. I wanted to make sense of my patterns. Or you wanted to keep everyone at a distance. Hard to be vulnerable with someone when you're reducing them to data points. Maybe. What are you going to do now? I don't know. Marcus won't talk to me. He's having his brother pick up his stuff. He wants to break the lease. I mean about the pattern, about the way you sabotage relationships. I don't sabotage, she just looked at me. Okay, maybe I do. Maybe I chase guys who hurt me because that feels like love, and when someone's actually good to me, I get bored because it doesn't match my broken idea of what romance should be. That's very insightful. Doesn't make me less alone. No, she agreed, but it's a start. Marcus's brother came to get his stuff while I was at work. I'd offered to be there, but Marcus specifically requested I not be. He didn't want to see me, didn't want to talk. Just wanted to erase me from his life as efficiently as possible. I couldn't blame him. He left his key on the counter and took everything that was his coffee maker, his books, the ridiculous physics t-shirts I used to make fun of, the sourdough starter he'd been cultivating for months. He left the dish towels his mom had given us and the candle that smelled like fresh linen. He left the framed photo of us from my birthday party. He left ghosts everywhere. I found a note on the kitchen counter a week after he'd got his stuff. Emily, I signed the paperwork to break the lease. My lawyer says you need to sign too. I'm covering my half of the penalty fee. I don't want your money. I don't want anything from you. I just want this to be over. I hope you find whatever it is you're looking for. I really do. But I also hope you figure out why you need everyone to hurt you before you believe they care. Marcus. I signed the papers. Moved out the next month. Found a studio apartment that was just mine. No ghosts, no shared furniture, no memories of trying to make myself love someone I couldn't. Jade eventually forgave me kind of. She still hangs out with me, but there's this distance now, like she's not sure she can trust my judgment anymore. You broke a good one, she said over coffee a few months later. I know. Like genuinely good, not perfect, but actually good to you. I know. And for what, Ryan? Who disappeared the second you were available. I know, Jade. I know all of this. I hate myself for it. What else do you want me to say? She softened a little. I want you to figure out why you did it, because if you don't, you're going to keep doing it. You're going to keep chasing sparks and chemistry and guys who make you anxious, and you're going to end up alone wondering why nothing ever works out. She wasn't wrong. I deleted the spreadsheet eventually. Not right away, it took me months. I'd open it sometimes late at night and stare at the categories and the scores and the clinical breakdown of human connection into numerical values. I'd look at Marcus's name, 3rd out of 7, and wonder what he'd rank me if he'd kept a list. Probably last. Probably with a comment like, seemed great until I realized she was incapable of actual intimacy. When I finally deleted it, I felt both relieved and empty. Like I'd been carrying something heavy for so long I didn't know how to walk without its weight. Dr. Chen and I kept working through it. Attachment styles, relationship patterns, why I equate love with pain and safety with boredom. It's all textbook, apparently. Childhood stuff, first heartbreak stuff, neural pathways carved so deep they feel like truth. You're not broken, she told me. You're just used to broken feeling like home. That hit hard. I saw Marcus one more time, about 6 months after he left, at a coffee shop completely by accident. He was with someone, a woman with kind eyes and an easy laugh. She touched his arm while talking, and he smiled at her the way he used to smile at me. He looked happy, really happy. Not comfortable or safe or settling happy, but genuinely lit up from the inside happy. He saw me, our eyes met. I thought about going over, apologizing again, telling him I understood now, that I'd been wrong, that he deserved everything good. But he looked away. Deliberately. Kindly even, just a clear boundary that said, I've moved on and you need to do the same. So I did. I left my coffee order and walked out and cried in my car for 20 minutes. I haven't dated anyone since. It's been a year now. People ask if I'm seeing anyone, and I say I'm focusing on myself, which is therapy speak for I'm too scared to hurt anyone else. Jade thinks I'm punishing myself. Maybe I am. Or maybe I'm just finally being honest about not being ready. I think about Marcus sometimes. Wonder if he ever thinks about me. Wonder if he told his new girlfriend about the spreadsheet, if it's a funny story they laugh about over dinner. My ex was so emotionally stunted, she literally ranked me against her other exes. I wonder if he kept the note he left me, or if he threw it away and never looked back. Mostly, I wonder if I'll ever be capable of the kind of love he deserved. The uncomplicated kind. The kind that doesn't need spreadsheets and categories and mathematical justification. Dr. Chen says I will. She says awareness is the first step, and I'm doing the work, and eventually I'll be ready to try again without sabotaging it. I want to believe her. But here's the thing nobody tells you about being the villain in someone else's story: you don't get redemption. You don't get a moment where you prove you've changed and everyone forgives you. You just get to sit with what you did and try to be better next time. If there is a next time. I still have the framed photo from my birthday party, the one Marcus left behind. Sometimes I look at it and try to remember what I was feeling that night. Was I happy? Was I pretending? Can you feel both at once? In the photo, Marcus's arm is around me and he's looking at the camera, but I'm looking at him. There's something in my expression I didn't notice before. It's not love exactly. It's not even affection. It's assessment. Evaluation. Like even in that moment, I was collecting data, measuring, ranking. It's the saddest photo I own. I'm telling you this story now because I need someone to know what I did. Not the sanitized version where I was confused and made mistakes. The real version where I was cruel and calculated and destroyed something good because I was too broken to recognize it. Everyone thinks Marcus is the victim and I'm the villain, and they're right. But what they don't know is that I'm also the victim of my own worst patterns. That I hurt him, yes, but I also hurt myself. That being incapable of accepting love is its own kind of tragedy. I don't know if that makes it better or worse. I don't know if I deserve forgiveness or if I should just accept being the cautionary tale. The girl who kept a spreadsheet. The girl who ranked love. The girl who let a good man leave because she couldn't stop chasing ghosts. What I do know is this: if you're reading this and you're in a relationship with someone who loves you more than you love them, either figure out how to love them back or let them go. Don't keep them around because they're safe. Don't create spreadsheets and pros and cons lists. Don't treat human connection like a science experiment. Don't be me, because a year later I'm still alone. Marcus is happy with someone else. Ryan never cared. I have a deleted spreadsheet and a pile of therapy receipts, and the knowledge that I ruined something good because I was too scared to believe I deserved it. The worst part about what happened isn't that Marcus found the list. It's that I made it in the first place. That I was capable of that level of detachment from someone who loved me. That I documented my own emotional unavailability and chose it anyway. I ranked him last among my exes. He found my list and moved out that same night. And honestly, he should have left sooner. I would have if I were him.